Hi, welcome to my channel, Rohit Speaks. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about is stroke and paralysis. Um, so basically, the stroke is in defining is that your blood supply to your brain areas is cut off, and that could be many reasons. I mean, three of them which are majorly known to medical world is hemorrhagic, ischemic, and atherosclerosis or transient ischemic. So basically, what happens in hemorrhagic is that your veins, your arteries going through the through your brain is ruptured through an act of sports play or some kind of an accident or some kind of genetic issue that it is ruptured and there is no more blood flow to the actual part of the brain and that part of the brain dries. As a result, you get a stroke and followed by whatever that area of the brain is functioning, that will be basically hampered. So if it is controlling your hand, your locomotion, that means it's paralysis of your body. Otherwise, your speech, your memory, depends. Ischemic is actually a blood clot which has traveled through your body into your brain area and has blocked the veins there, and there is no more blood supply. And another one is atherosclerosis, is basically fat depositing in your blood vessels in your brain, and basically could be either genetic or too much consumption of or not paying attention to your fat intake or cholesterol intake, and that could lead to atherosclerotic veins, which is basically narrow veins and not enough blood supply that your brain starts to die or that part of the area dies. So, what are the signs of a stroke? So, it's not usually very like doesn't happen like right away, or it's not all of a sudden. You will have some signs and symptoms a couple of days early, maybe a week early, where basically you will lose your balance, your eyes, you lose your vision a little bit, your face starts to droop, arms are weak, they feel tingly. Just tingly arms is not a sign, by the way. These has to be there. Speech is slurry, then you have to call for a doctor. So basically, these are the signs, and it has been labeled as be fast. So it's very easy for you guys to understand. Here, I've just given you a diagram or a representation of your brain and what parts it carries and what function it carries. So if you look from top down, this is where you're looking right here. So the frontal lobe, basically, if you look at its mental functions, concentration, planning, judgment, all that's the front part. Your locomotion, your movement of your body is in the in this area of the body or in this area of the brain, which is right below it, in the parietal lobe. Okay, so occipital is for, if you look, you can read through it, it's visual. Then this area of the brain, which is behind you, is for your balance. This part of the brain, which is lower in that area, is for short-term memory. Frontal lobe is for, as I said, emotional expression, creativity, inhibition, and all those stuff. So if you get a stroke and your movement of the limbs are most likely this part or this part of the brain is affected. If your right part of the brain is affected, your left part of the motions are gone. And if your left is affected, right is. That's how the neurons are wired in your body. So now, if it is locomotion, now your paralysis can be different types. Either your both arms are gone, or one part of your body is gone, or one arm, or lower limbs, or completely below the neck is gone. So it depends what kind of paralysis or how much broad the stroke is. So if you catch it early, people can be treated. For example, mostly face paralysis, where your face is drooping, can be reverted back, but most of it is permanent. People try to do physical therapy and all those things to recover some kind of motion. I mean, it depends on how affected your brain is. People have recovered from paralysis just by sheer will and luck. So it's literally on human determination. If you're willing to work for it, neurons refire, neurons rework. If you put a proper diet into it, it works. People have seen miracles, but most probably the paralysis is permanent. Some paralysis can be reverted, which is facial paralysis, but again, never doubt human determination, and people have come back from stronger from these things. So the only point which I would like to say with paralysis is that uh, pay attention to your body, pay attention to your cholesterol intake. Now, hemorrhagic, which is where your veins pop, that can be for several other accidental or any of those things which are not under your control. But avoiding clots, avoiding atherosclerosis is under your control, and you could have an early checkup if there is a history of atherosclerosis in your family. Get yourself checked out, keep an eye on your cholesterol intake, have an active lifestyle, and then that should avoid this for a longer period of time. So this is only my suggestion, and I mean you can read a little bit more on it, but paralysis, as I said, there are early signs, and if you pay attention to it, you can get help in time. So make sure you remember this. Be fast. If you lose balance, eyes are you're losing vision for a bit. Face is drooping, arms are weakened, and your speech is slurry, like that part. So pay attention and get help. So with that, I'll close this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.